Upon examining the woman's body, the doctor found something strange in her genital area, not just one object, but several. While the police were still puzzled, the medical examiner extracted what appeared to be a peach pit. Even more shocking was the realization that when pieced together, these fragments formed a complete peach. This meant the killer had forced a peach into the woman's body before violently mashing it with a sharp object. However, this wasn't the first victim the police had discovered. The perpetrator's deranged methodology seemed designed to mock the Korean police's ineffectiveness. He deliberately chose to strike during heavy rainstorms, first binding his victims' limbs with rope before taking them to secluded wooded areas. Shielded by the downpour, he would sexually assault the women. Afterward, he strangled them with their own stockings and placed their underwear over their heads, covering their desperate, helpless eyes. What makes this even more disturbing is that the film is based on actual events in Korea. During the 1980s, the killer claimed 10 female victims, ranging from a 71-year-old woman to a girl just 14 years of age. Soon after, the lead detective received a report from villagers who discovered another female body in a drainage ditch of a rice field. The corpse was already decomposing, completely naked, with hands and feet still bound. He questioned local troublemakers, but they all had alibis. Despite his years of police experience, this case presented the fewest clues he'd ever encountered. The heavy rain had washed away virtually all evidence, leaving him without a starting point for his investigation. Just when he felt completely lost, more bad news arrived at the station. Another woman had been brutally murdered. Fortunately, this time investigators found a footprint at the scene. The detective carefully marked it off for protection. However, when he saw the victim, he was shocked to discover the exact same killing pattern: bound limbs and underwear placed over the head. While examining the scene, a tractor suddenly approached on the road. The detective shouted for the driver to stop, but the man continued as if he hadn't heard. The tractor rolled directly over the footprint, destroying their only evidence. That evening, while resting his head on his wife's lap discussing the case, he unexpectedly received an important lead. His wife knew the victim and mentioned that the village's mentally disabled man had been obsessed with her, constantly following her around. Immediately suspecting this man, the detective excitedly sat up and rushed to arrest him at the local arcade. He brought the suspect to the basement for questioning, but regardless of his interrogation techniques, the man only responded with a simple smile. Frustrated, the detective ordered his men to beat the suspect, but he maintained his innocence. The detective then devised a plan to frame the mentally disabled man. The next day, he took one of the man's shoes to the crime scene, pressed it into the area where the footprint had been, and photographed it as evidence to quickly close the case. As more deaths occurred, villagers grew increasingly fearful. When one man tried to ask a woman for directions, she fled in terror. He chased after her, and she accidentally tumbled down a slope. The detective happened to be driving by and immediately attacked the man, assuming he was the killer. But was this man really the murderer? Due to copyright restrictions, this is all we can share of this disturbing crime film called Memories of Murder.